Well, hello, Audubon Blackhawks. I am here to talk to you about your upcoming STAR assessments that you're going to be taking this upcoming week. If you are in second through fifth grade, you're going to be doing two STAR assessments, a reading assessment and a math assessment. First graders, you're going to be taking a math STAR assessment for the first time this year. Blackhawks, ultimately, what we want to see from this is how much you've grown this year. We're going to talk about some incentives and some recognition that's going to go along with that. But really, the big piece of this is looking at yourself and being proud of the work that you've put in and how much you have grown over the course of this year. So we are going to be measuring you based on where you grew from the first time we took these assessments back in August until now. We saw some amazing growth back in October when we did kind of a progress monitoring check with this. But we are excited to see now that we are halfway through the year where you're at with things. A few reminders about STAR that are a little bit different than some of the other assessments that you take. The STAR test is one that the questions are timed. If you are taking an extra long amount of time on the STAR question, you're going to get a little hourglass that will pop up telling you that you're almost out of time to answer the question. And what we're going to say to do at that point is do your very best, take your best guess at what the answer might be so that you can move on to the next question. If you do not answer a question before the time runs out, it will mark it as incorrect, and then it'll just move you on to the next question anyways. So we want you to take your time, but not so much time that you're not able to answer the questions. In STAR, all of the questions or answers are multiple choice. And so you may be able to eliminate some question or some answer choices because they just don't make sense to what the question is asking you. But that brings up the most important piece, reading the question carefully and thoroughly. Make sure you know exactly what the question is asking you to do. Don't just read the first part of the question and say, oh, I got it. I know what I'm supposed to do. There might be a second part of the question that you need to make sure that you answer as well. So please make sure you read the question fully. If you are somebody that has struggled with some reading, you might just need a little bit extra support on the math test. It's going to read the questions to you. I would really encourage you, if you have that text-to-speech option, utilize it. Use your headphones. Make sure that you are taking advantage of that support that is given to some of our students. That way, you're not worried about the reading portion of a math test. You're able to just do the math. Now, in first grade, all students are going to have the questions read to them because a lot of those words are things that we haven't even started covering yet with you about how to read it. So on your math test, first graders, you will all have that text-to-speech option. A reminder about the STAR assessment is that it is an adaptive test, which means no two students have the same test. It gives you the next question based on how you answer the question you're currently on. So if you get the question correct, it's going to give you a similar or slightly more difficult question for your next question. As you continue to answer questions correctly, it will progressively get a little bit more difficult. The point of this is to get to a place where they can see where you're truly able to practice your skills at. And so it is to get to a place where it makes you struggle so much that you might get some questions wrong. And that is okay. That's what this test is designed to do. It's designed to challenge you as far as it can, get you to a place where it's truly measuring you at the level of which you are currently performing, and then level out questions at that point. So you're likely going to miss some questions. You should miss some questions. But that means that you are stretching yourself. If you don't know what it's asking you to do, just try your best. Do the best that you can with that question, and then move on to that next question. Lastly, on that math assessment, you are going to have the opportunity to have working paper to work out your problems with. Going to really encourage and really say you have to use that working paper. That is your opportunity to work out your work so that you can figure out what the math answer may be. You don't have to do all of them in your head. Some of them you may be able to. It may be as simple as 1 plus 1. Many of us can do that in our head. We know that 1 plus 1 is 2. But if it starts getting into fractions or different types of things that are more difficult, now those are going to be in our older grades, you're going to want to work that out on paper. So make sure you're using your working paper. All right, so we want to see growth. We want to see you doing your best. So to measure that, we've set up an incentive program for you. Here's how you earn points. If you take at least 25 minutes or more on the test, you're going to earn a point. Now, this is for each the reading and the math test. So, if you take 25 minutes on your math test, meaning you're really taking your time, you're reading the questions thoroughly, you're taking your time answering them, and you get at least 25 minutes on your test, you're going to earn one of these points towards prizes. If you increase your score by 15 or more from the beginning of the school year, meaning 15 scale score points, you're going to earn a point. This time of year, we're looking for students to be growing maybe faster than their peers. And so we're going to give you a point if you're meeting the 50th growth percentile. Now, while that may be something that you don't quite understand, the adults can help you with that. But what it's really saying is that you're growing at a faster rate than half of the students that are starting at the same place you are. And so that's putting you in a really good place if you're in that 50th growth percentile of saying you're doing some really, really good work so far this year. And you are on track to really perform well by the end of the year. And our last one is if you meet that 70th growth percentile. Last year we didn't have this as a point that you could earn. We had so many students meet that 70th growth percentile and really challenge and push themselves that we want to make sure we recognize that this year. So if you meet that 70th growth percentile, we're going to recognize you again. Now, you will also earn a bonus point for using your working paper in math. So that'll be up to your teachers to decide, because just doing a couple scribbles on it doesn't earn you a point. You have to really use your working paper, but you can earn that extra point. What do your points earn you? 2 points, you get 1 spin on the prize wheel. You can earn 2 points just by taking your time on the tests. 25 minutes on your reading, 25 minutes on your math. If you earn 4 points, you're going to get 2 spins on the prize wheel. Prize wheel prizes are anything from bookmarks to books to treasure box, all kinds of different fun stuff that you will get to spin the wheel for. If you earn 6 points, you're going to get an ice cream treat. Now, if you've already watched the Dibbles version of this, you know that you can earn points for Dibbles as well. And so you might earn 2 ice cream treats based on your Dibbles and your star. If you earn 7 points, you're going to get a pizza lunch. We will get you that lunch once we have all the scores in. But if you earn 7 points, you will earn a pizza lunch. And if you get the full 8 points, you're going to get to pie me in the face. We set up these incentives and these recognition pieces to really encourage you to do your absolute very best on these assessments. It can be overwhelming at times. We understand that. But really, this is just about you showing us what you know and doing your absolute very best. So make sure you're giving your classmates that opportunity to do their very best. You show your teachers, me, everybody, how much you've grown and how proud you are of the work that you've put in this year. And we will recognize you for that and celebrate. I will say that it will take us a couple weeks to be able to tally up all of the points for STAR. Because while we're taking the test this week, we will not get all of the results as far as the growth percentiles for at least 2 weeks. So students, I know you'll be anxious to know how many points you earned, and your teachers will be able to tell you how much you grew right away. But that growth percentile is going to take a couple weeks. So we will be doing all of these recognitions the week before winter break. So the week of December 16th is when we will be doing all of these recognition pieces for STAR. That's going to do it for the STAR overview, reminders, and incentives. Wishing you the very best on these. We are so pumped to see how much you've grown this year, and I hope you are just as excited to show us what you know. Best of luck to you this week on your STAR assessments. Good luck, and go Blackhawks.